Hi, I'm Helen and I am a team manager within the family finding service of Adopt Southwest. Fostering for adoption enables children to be placed with approved adopters who are turned into temporary foster carers at the earliest opportunity. So ultimately, it's child-centred. It's about making the child at the centre of everything we do. We want children to have the opportunity to be placed with potential carers who they're going to grow old with if the court's final plan is that of adoption. So basically what that means is we're giving the child the opportunity to have early permanence at the earliest possible opportunity. So the majority of younger children, predominantly babies, we try to seek foster for adoption placements for. The reason we do this is because we know how important it is for children to have early permanence as soon as possible, where all family members and friends have been assessed for that child. So the majority of children are really from babies to about 3 years old, but fostering for adoption can be considered for older children as well. So you're probably thinking, what support do we give to birth families whose children may be put forward for fostering for adoption? It can be really sensitive for families. They may be trying really hard to keep the child in their care. And for many families, the last thing they want is for their child to be adopted. They are working with agencies, with social workers to really show the courts that actually they have made the changes to keep their child safe in their care. Fostering for adoption is child-centred. So the idea is that children are only put forward for fostering for adoption, or actually the local authority feels that they have suitably explored and assessed their family members, their wider friends. So I'm going to explain how you, as potential prospective adopters, could consider caring for a child under fostering for adoption. So what you would do is you would go through the normal process of applying and going through your recruitment and assessment process to become approved adopters. During that assessment process, you will consider if you'd like to care for a child under fostering for adoption. Basically, what fostering for adoption means is that you will be caring for a child as temporary foster carers whilst the child's decisions within the court are decided if that child will have a plan of adoption. You will be supported. That's really important to say. All children have care plans and you'll be supported by the child's local authority social worker and your own social worker. Ultimately, within fostering for adoption, the plan isn't decided. So we know for a very small number of children, actually, they will be cared for by adopters who are caring for the child as foster carers, who will then return back to live with their birth family. We know from adopters it's tough. It is tough. And as fostering for adoption is a child-centred way of ensuring early permanence, we know we do ask a lot of adopters. But ultimately, fostering for adoption gives children and babies the best possible start and as little disruption as possible. What are the main risks? We know that some children will return to their birth families. That's brilliant for the child and their birth family, but we do understand for you as prospective adopters, that's really difficult. And we ask a lot. We ask you to care and love this child and embrace them into your family. And the fact that they then may be returned to their birth family is difficult, but we know that would be the right thing for the child. The risk of the child returning to their birth family is very small. And what's really important is that as Adopt Southwest and local authorities, we try really hard to make sure that children who are put forward for fostering for adoption have had all of their birth family and friends suitably assessed before we are looking for foster for adoption placements for them. I think it's really, really important that you're open and honest throughout your assessment with your social worker. There's lots to take in, there's lots to learn and meet other adopters who have cared for children through the fostering for adoption. Every family situation will be unique and different, but for me, the biggest thing is making sure you've got that support around you, because you are doing a fantastic thing. You're able to care for this child, but as the carer, you are carrying that uncertainty around what will be happening, and actually will you be caring for this child for a short period, a longer period. So it's really important that you get the right support. One of my top tips has been flexible. Be prepared for things to change, but your social worker will be there to support you. Don't ever be scared to ask for help or advice or support. Let's fast forward to actually you're approved. So you're now an approved adopter and you feel able to offer a child a fostering for adoption placement. You will be fostering that child for the duration of their care proceedings up until the point the court decide if adoption is the right plan for that child. If the court do decide that actually adoption is in this child's best interests, then the next step would be to then go to matching panel. So again, you will have lots of support from your Adopt Southwest social worker. You will have your support plan and the same process will be followed. You will attend matching panel, and after matching panel and the ADM, so don't worry about that, you can look that up in the information pack. So ADM, you will then become the child's adoptive parents.